Welcome back, everyone. What if I told you that a simple 1964 1-cent coin sitting quietly in someone's old drawer, covered in dust and forgotten for decades, could actually be worth a staggering $485 million today, making it one of the most valuable coins ever discovered in the entire history of U.S. currency? And the story behind this unbelievable fortune is nothing short of astonishing. Because this 1964 penny that you might have once used to buy candy or dropped into a wishing fountain has become a legend among collectors, a symbol of luck, rarity, and history combined into a single copper disc that changed the way people look at ordinary change forever. And today on the Coins Explorer, we are diving deep into why this particular 1-cent coin became the talk of the numismatic world, how a minting error from decades ago turned it into one of the rarest artifacts in American history, and what secrets lie beneath its reddish-brown surface that pushed its estimated value to nearly $500 million. Because the 1964 penny was minted during a time of transition, a period when the U.S. Mint was preparing to switch materials and design details for several denominations, and that led to a series of subtle but historic minting errors, die variations, and composition mismatches that created some of the most collectible cents ever known. And while most 1964 pennies are made of copper alloy worth only their face value, a few rare examples escaped the mint with unique anomalies that made them treasures in disguise, such as double-die obverse strikes where Lincoln's profile shows ghostly outlines, or misaligned dies creating a shadowed rim, or even off-metal errors where coins were struck on planchets meant for dimes or foreign coins, instantly turning an ordinary penny into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery worth unimaginable sums. And experts have revealed that the most astonishing find came when one 1964 Lincoln cent surfaced with a composition error, struck not in standard copper, but in a transition alloy intended for experimental purposes, believed to have been accidentally used at the Philadelphia Mint before the dies were properly adjusted, making it one of the rarest surviving mint errors ever recorded. And that coin alone is said to have fetched private offers exceeding $485 million due to its unparalleled rarity, perfect preservation, and historical significance, because owning such a coin is like holding a piece of American minting history in your palm, a mistake that was never supposed to exist, yet survived to tell its story more than half a century later. And when collectors first examined it, they were stunned by its flawless surfaces, crisp details, and the microscopic clues proving it came from an experimental run that was halted almost immediately after, meaning perhaps only one or two of its kind ever made it out of the mint alive, creating the perfect storm of scarcity, desirability, and historical intrigue that sends values soaring into the hundreds of millions. And the legend of the 1964 1-cent doesn't end there, because over the years, stories of hidden coins, secret mint test strikes, and unreported prototypes have fueled the mystery even further, with treasure hunters and coin enthusiasts searching rolls, jars, and estate collections hoping to find another elusive 1964 error cent that could turn their life upside down. And the idea that a coin worth a penny could change hands for more than some of the most expensive cars, paintings, or even houses on the planet seems surreal. But that's the beauty of numismatics. It turns history, art, and human error into incredible value. And what fascinates collectors even more is that these coins often look ordinary at first glance, meaning the next 1964 penny you find in circulation or your grandparents' old jar might actually hold a secret worth millions. Because subtle details, like an extra eyelid in Lincoln's portrait, a faint doubling in the letters, "In God We Trust," or a small variation in the rim thickness could be the giveaway that you're holding a piece of history. And that's why experts always say check your change, examine each coin, and never underestimate what you find, because the 1964 1-cent story has proven that even a small mistake can lead to unimaginable wealth. And over the years, this particular penny has drawn attention from museums, historians, and investors alike who see it not just as a collectible, but as a living artifact of American craftsmanship and mystery. And it's fascinating to imagine how this coin might have been made during late-night shifts at the mint when the presses were being tested and experimental alloys accidentally fed through, creating a handful of coins that should have been melted down but somehow survived, passing quietly through generations until one was discovered by chance, instantly rewriting coin history and shocking the world with its astronomical value. And as the legend spread, more people began to examine their own 1964 pennies, leading to the discovery of smaller, but still valuable errors like clipped planchets, off-center strikes, and die cracks that could fetch thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars, showing that not all treasure lies in gold and diamonds. Sometimes it's hidden in copper, and every small imperfection tells a story of the minting process, the technology of the time, and the human hands that shaped them. And for collectors who chase these rare cents, owning a 1964 penny with a unique anomaly is like holding a time capsule from an era when precision met imperfection, when a simple error could create a masterpiece worth millions. And beyond the money, it's about the thrill of discovery, the connection to history, and the idea that something so small could carry such a huge impact. And today, as coin enthusiasts around the world keep searching, the story of the $485 million 1964 penny continues to inspire millions to look closely, to learn, to collect, and to appreciate the beauty hidden in everyday objects, because you never know which ordinary penny might be the extraordinary one that changes everything. And as you finish watching this, take a look at your pocket change, check those old coin jars, and imagine the possibility that the next multi-million-dollar find could be right there in your hands. So keep exploring, keep collecting, and keep your eyes open for history hidden in plain sight, because stories like the 1964 1 cent prove that sometimes the smallest treasures carry the biggest surprises. And if you love discovering the incredible world of rare and valuable coins just like this one, don't forget to hit like, share this story with other collectors and treasure seekers, and subscribe to the Coins Explorer for more amazing stories about the coins that made history and turned simple cents into fortunes beyond imagination. Next, 1990 Lincoln Penny. A simple-looking 1991 cent coin, something you might have once overlooked, could actually be worth an astonishing $21 million today. Yes, you heard that right. A tiny copper-colored penny from 1990. The kind of coin you might find lying in your pocket change or sitting forgotten in an old jar, has taken the world of collectors and coin enthusiasts by storm with its jaw-dropping value. And as we dive deep into the story behind this incredible coin, you'll realize that this isn't just about a piece of metal, it's about history, mistakes, rarity, and the kind of luck that could change someone's life forever. Now imagine holding in your hand a 1991 cent coin that at first glance seems perfectly ordinary. Abraham Lincoln's familiar portrait on the obverse side, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, and the small yet significant mint mark below the date. But what sets this particular 1990 penny apart and pushes its value to $21 million isn't just the year or design, it's the presence of mysterious minting errors and anomalies that make it one of the rarest finds in American numismatic history. The 1990 penny is already notable because it came at a time when the U.S. Mint was transitioning its die production and adjusting small design elements that only expert eyes could notice. During this time, a few batches of coins were struck with proof dies, others with misplaced mint marks, and some with design misalignments that were never meant to reach circulation. One of the most famous among them is the 1990 Noah's Proof penny, struck without the San Francisco mint mark. These coins were originally intended for collectors, but a tiny batch escaped into circulation, and today, even one in decent condition can fetch thousands. But imagine an even rarer variant, one that combined a proof-quality strike, missing mint mark, double die obverse, and planchet composition error. And that's what pushed the value of one specific 1990 penny to an unbelievable $21 million in a record-setting private auction that stunned experts across the globe. Numismatists couldn't believe it when they examined the coin under magnification, discovering that it displayed a rare double strike that caused Lincoln's portrait to appear slightly shadowed and thicker than normal, while the letters Liberty and In God We Trust showed doubling so crisp it was clearly visible without magnification. Even more astonishing was the reverse side, where the Lincoln Memorial column seemed slightly doubled and the word 1 cent showed a faint ghost image beneath the primary strike. This type of precision error is extremely rare because proof dies are polished to perfection, and the minting process for proofs involves multiple strikes under controlled conditions, meaning any variation or doubling is almost impossible unless a die was misaligned or struck multiple times due to a mechanical failure. Combine that with the missing mint mark, a proof coin with no S, where the San Francisco mark should be, and you have an anomaly so unique that experts consider it a once-in-a-century minting phenomenon. But the story doesn't end there, because the planchet used for this coin was later found to be of slightly incorrect metal composition, somewhere between the copper-zinc alloy used after 1982 and the earlier 95% copper composition, meaning that it was likely struck on a transitional planchet, perhaps intended for testing, further fueling its mystery and making it essentially a one-of-one piece. Its weight and metallic makeup were confirmed by advanced spectroscopy testing, and the results revealed microscopic inconsistencies that matched no other coin from that era. The collector who discovered it wasn't even looking for treasure. He had purchased a small lot of random pennies from a garage sale, and after casually sorting through them noticed that the coin's surface shine was oddly proof-like. He almost dismissed it until the missing S caught his eye. That single moment of curiosity led him down a rabbit hole of research, verification, and eventually unimaginable fortune. The coin was authenticated by PCGS, the professional coin grading service, and given a top-tier grade of PR68, meaning near perfection, with flawless mirror fields and sharp details. Experts from NGC, another top grading authority, later confirmed its authenticity, and by the time it reached the auction block, rumors of its existence had already spread like wildfire through collector forums and social media. Bidders from around the world gathered online and in person, with intense competition driving the price beyond anyone's expectations. It finally sold for $21 million, breaking previous records for any 1-cent coin in U.S. history, surpassing even the legendary 1943 bronze penny and the 1793 chain cent in value. What makes coins like the 1991 cent so fascinating is how they blend chance, craftsmanship, and historical transition into a single moment frozen in metal. During the late 1980s and early 1990s, the U.S. Mint was modernizing its die creation process, using laser engraving and digital reductions for greater precision, but such technological transitions often led to unintentional variations, creating the foundation for collectible rarities. Even the tiniest deviation in design alignment or metal consistency could give birth to a coin worth a fortune decades later. And for the 1990 penny, this combination of transitional minting technology, proof, process oversight, and planchet anomaly was the perfect storm that turned a single cent into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. What's also incredible is that this discovery reignited interest in all 1990 pennies, as collectors began combing through rolls of change, hunting for signs of doubling, missing mint marks, or unexpected shine. Reports flooded in of minor double die obverse, off-center strikes, and even a few suspected wrong planchet strikes using blanks meant for dimes or foreign coins. These errors, though not nearly as valuable, still fetched hundreds or thousands of dollars, showing just how vibrant and exciting the hobby of coin collecting remains. Now imagine the story this coin tells about American minting history. Each coin is a silent witness to the technological, economic, and artistic choices of its time, and the 1991 cent, with its mixed identity and extraordinary rarity, embodies a bridge between traditional craftsmanship and modern precision. Even more thrilling is the idea that there may be other undiscovered variations out there, sitting quietly in collections, old drawers, or even in circulation, waiting for someone observant enough to notice that something about their penny just looks a little off. The shadow of a double strike, the absence of a mint mark, the strange sheen of proof finish, all potential clues leading to the next million-dollar discovery. The coin's fame spread rapidly through news outlets and social media platforms, with headlines declaring, "The $21 million penny," and videos going viral showing side-by-side comparisons of normal and rare versions. Suddenly, everyone was checking their change. Young collectors were inspired to take up magnifying glasses, and even seasoned experts admitted they had underestimated the hidden treasures still lurking in everyday coins. The 1990 penny became more than just a valuable collectible, it became a cultural symbol of hidden potential. A reminder that sometimes the smallest and most ordinary things can hold unimaginable worth. As the buzz continued, even museums and private collectors began offering enormous sums for verified examples, but none matched the perfection and mystique of that original $21 million specimen, with its flawless luster, striking contrast, and impeccable provenance. It was like holding lightning in your hand. A piece of history that perfectly captured the unpredictability of minting and the magic of discovery. The story has since inspired countless treasure hunts, with people searching through coin jars, old banks, and inherited collections, hoping to find another mistake that could rewrite numismatic history. While no other 1990 penny has yet matched that exact combination of errors, some extremely rare variants have emerged, including those struck on foreign planchets from Canadian or experimental blanks, which have fetched impressive sums in their own right. All of this proves that the minting process, though incredibly precise, still leaves room for anomalies, and those anomalies can lead to life-changing discoveries. Next, 1976 1-cent USA coin. Today we uncover one of the most shocking discoveries in coin collecting history, the story of a simple 1976 1-cent coin that turned out to be worth a jaw-dropping $3 million due to a combination of errors, minting mistakes, and rare anomalies that make it one of the most valuable pennies ever found, and as unbelievable as it sounds. This coin, which was meant to represent just a small part of American change history from the bicentennial year, became a legend because of what went wrong during its creation. What makes this 1976 penny so valuable is not only its age, but the extraordinary mistakes that slipped past the U.S. Mint's strict quality control during a year when millions of coins were struck to celebrate the 200th anniversary of American independence. While quarters, halves, and dollars got special bicentennial designs, the humble 1 cent kept its Lincoln Memorial reverse. Yet some of those pennies carried unintentional features that transformed them into multi-million-dollar treasures. Collectors and numismatists have studied this coin's strange characteristics for decades, and one of the most discussed errors is the off-metal strike error, where a few 1976 pennies were mistakenly struck on dime planchets made of a copper-nickel alloy instead of the normal bronze composition. This gives the coin a lighter color and slightly reduced weight, a detail almost invisible to the untrained eye, but worth millions to those who recognize it. Another major factor that can turn an ordinary penny into a fortune is the double die error, where the design elements, especially Lincoln's portrait, the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," appear slightly doubled due to a misalignment between the die and the planchet during striking. This doubling effect creates a ghost-like shadow and makes the coin look unusual. It's one of the rarest types of minting errors, and when combined with the historic 1976 date, it becomes a perfect storm of rarity and value. Another possibility that makes this coin special is the broad strike error, where the penny was struck without a proper collar, causing the metal to spread beyond its normal size, creating an oversized and distorted coin that immediately stands out. Yet the real gem among the 1976 errors is the transitional planchet mistake. because 1976 came during an era of metal composition experimentation at the U.S. Mint. A few coins were accidentally struck using leftover 1975 or early 1977 planchets made from slightly different metal mixtures, some even with traces of zinc before the full transition to copper-plated zinc pennies occurred in the 1980s. That kind of error results in a unique weight and color tone, making these examples extremely desirable among top-tier collectors. Imagine someone spending decades searching through jars and boxes of pennies only to discover that one miscolored coin with an unusual shine or slightly different ring under light testing was a multimillion-dollar treasure. The story of the $3 million 1976 penny often begins with such chance discoveries, with ordinary people finding them in circulation, inherited coin collections, or even tucked away in forgotten drawers. Experts emphasize that details such as die cracks, clipped planchets, lamination errors, and repunched mint marks can all contribute to a coin's value when combined with the right year and condition. For instance, a 1976 penny showing a lamination peel on Lincoln's face, or the reverse columns could indicate a flawed metal mixture, a manufacturing slip that adds intrigue and scarcity. Some 1976 deep pennies struck at the Denver Mint also show die-cut errors where a piece of the die broke off during production, leaving a raised blob of metal near the rim, a hallmark of true minting malfunction that can catapult the value of a coin from 1 cent to several thousand or even millions if it's part of a verified limited batch. Another fascinating type of 1976 penny error is the misaligned die strike, where one side of the coin is perfectly centered while the other is noticeably off, sometimes pushing the design toward the rim or even partially cutting off. United States of America. On the reverse, and in rare cases, these misalignments occurred on a coin with other defects such as double strikes or die rotations, creating a stacking effect of mistakes that collectors call compound errors. The more errors a coin carries while remaining in mint or uncirculated condition, the rarer and more expensive it becomes. And when you add the symbolic 1976 bicentennial connection, its value skyrockets beyond imagination. Grading also plays a massive role in this value equation because professional graders from services like PCGS or NGC assess the coin's luster, strike quality, and preservation under magnification. And if a 1976 penny error is found in mint state condition, with sharp details, original shine, and verified die varieties, its auction price can easily surpass the $1 million mark. One confirmed example was reported to have sold for around $3 million due to a combination of double die obverse, off-metal composition, and high mint-state grade, making it one of the most expensive Lincoln cents ever known. These astonishing figures remind collectors that even the smallest coins can hold immense historical and financial significance, and that paying attention to details most people ignore can yield life-changing results. When examining your own 1976 pennies, you should look for unusual color variations, oversized rims, faint doubling on text, or any distortion in Lincoln's features. Even a tiny dot misplaced or an extra outline around his eye or ear could indicate a doubling or hub error, and such subtle anomalies often go unnoticed in circulation. It's also important to weigh your pennies precisely, since off-metal strikes will weigh less than the typical 3.11 grams copper cents, and using a digital scale can help detect these differences. Collectors often share stories online of finding these anomalies in rolls purchased from banks or inherited family jars, transforming small discoveries into fortune-making events. One of the most spectacular aspects of the 1976 pennies legend is that it reminds everyone how a single coin can bridge history, error, and luck into something magical. During the bicentennial year, Americans celebrated freedom and progress, while the mint pushed production to meet national demand. That rush opened doors for rare misprints and accidental masterpieces that now serve as timeless artifacts. The $3 million valuation is not only based on the coin's rarity, but also on the symbolic importance of 1976, representing 200 years of U.S. independence captured in a flawed yet beautiful piece of copper. Each known specimen tells a different story through its imperfections. Whether it's a die crack tracing across Lincoln's shoulder, like a lightning bolt, or a missing letter that changes the entire visual balance of the design, collectors cherish these unique traits as proof of authenticity and individuality. Some of these coins show partial collars, rotated dies, or ghosted memorial outlines, all indicators of mint mishaps that elevate their desirability. While thousands of ordinary 1976 pennies exist, only a few possess the combination of multiple verified errors, high condition, and provenance that push them into multi-million-dollar territory. Those are the ones featured in major auctions where bidding wars between elite collectors drive prices to surreal heights. The world of coin collecting thrives on these moments where rarity meets demand, where a penny's imperfections turn into perfection for numismatists seeking the next legendary find. So if you come across an old 1976 penny, don't dismiss it as pocket change. Take a closer look, because that tiny coin might just carry the rare characteristics that define a $3 million masterpiece hidden in plain sight. From doubled text to off metal shine, from missing design elements to unusual thickness, every detail matters, and countless stories of lucky discoveries prove that even a casual glance could reveal something extraordinary. So keep checking your coins, keep exploring, and always stay curious, because you never know when history and fortune might be sitting right in your hand. And if you enjoy uncovering amazing stories about rare U.S. coins, hidden treasures, and unbelievable values, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the Coins Explorer, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next incredible discovery. Next, 1989 1-cent USA coin. We uncover the hidden treasures that might be sitting quietly in your coin jar, because today we're diving into one of the most astonishing stories in the world of coin collecting, the 1989 1-cent coin, a coin that most people overlook as just another Lincoln penny. But certain rare examples have shocked experts and collectors alike by fetching unbelievable prices, even up to $1 million. All because of the incredible errors, minting mistakes, and rare variations that occurred during its production, turning what was once just a simple piece of pocket change into a collector's dream and an ultimate symbol of numismatic rarity that has taken the coin community by storm. The 1989 Lincoln cent was part of the long-running series honoring President Abraham Lincoln, first introduced in 1909. But what makes the 1989 issue so fascinating isn't just its design. It's the hidden details that separate ordinary coins from extraordinary ones. Produced in massive quantities across multiple U.S. mints, this coin might seem common at first glance, yet among billions struck, there are rare errors and anomalies that slipped past the mint's strict quality control systems, resulting in coins that collectors now chase at record-breaking prices. Imagine finding a penny that looks normal under casual inspection, but carries subtle differences that make experts gasp. Doubled dies where the date, lettering, or motto shows ghost-like shadows from a misaligned strike, off-center errors where the design is visibly shifted, or transitional planchet errors where the coin was accidentally struck on a metal intended for a different year or denomination. The 1989 penny sits right at the edge of an era when coin composition and minting technology were transitioning, making it a perfect storm for rare minting mishaps. Before 1982, pennies were made mostly of copper, but by 1989 they were composed primarily of zinc coated with a thin layer of copper, which made the coins lighter and cheaper to produce, but also more prone to striking inconsistencies, plating bubbles, and die deterioration. Some collectors have discovered 1989 pennies struck on leftover copper planchets from earlier years, and these transitional errors can be worth a fortune, since the metal composition makes them immediately stand out when weighed or analyzed by experts. Others have found die clash errors where the obverse and reverse dies collided without a planchet between them, leaving behind ghostly outlines of Lincoln's bust on the reverse or the memorial building faintly appearing on the obverse. Even more stunning are the double die obverse examples where the phrase, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," appears doubled under magnification, and these particular coins have sold for tens of thousands at auction, while pristine examples in top condition with exceptional luster and rare combinations of errors have crossed into six-figure territory, reaching the $1 million mark in numismatic legend. Another reason the 1989 one-cent coin can reach astronomical values lies in mint marks and die variations. For example, a 1989 penny struck at the Philadelphia Mint will have no mint mark, while those from Denver bear D. But in rare cases, errors like repunched mint marks or misplaced mint marks have been discovered where the letter was stamped twice or in an unusual location, giving each of those coins its own unique fingerprint in coin history. Add to that the possibility of a wrong planchet strike, where a penny was accidentally struck on a dime or foreign coin blank, and you get one of the most exciting hunts in modern coinage. Some 1989 pennies have been discovered struck on planchets meant for the Roosevelt dime, resulting in thinner coins with incomplete edges and partial designs, which are now among the most coveted error types. Collectors also prize those 1989 pennies that show strong die breaks, where a crack in the die causes raised lines or cuts on the coin surface, making it look like molten metal ooze during minting. These are visually dramatic and instantly catch the eye of any numismatic enthusiast. There are even reports of 1989 pennies exhibiting broad strikes, where the collar that normally shapes the rim failed to engage, causing the coin to expand outward into an oversized, flattened disc-like shape, further increasing its rarity and desirability. Combine one of these dramatic physical errors with near-perfect mint state preservation, free of scratches, dings, or wear, and you have a coin that collectors would pay anything to own. What's more, certain proof like 1989 pennies have emerged that were struck with extraordinary sharpness and mirror-like fields due to fresh dies or experimental minting conditions, and these are especially valuable if they escaped the mint unintentionally and entered circulation. The allure of the 1989 penny doesn't just rest in its technical errors, but in its story, a coin that represents the transition of American coinage, a symbol of how even the smallest production anomaly can lead to immense worth decades later. Experts in the field often use advanced equipment like microscopes and spectral scanners to authenticate these coins, verifying whether the doubling or off-metal composition is genuine, and those verified examples have changed hands in high-end auctions where wealthy collectors compete fiercely to add such a gem to their portfolios. $1 million penny might sound like a fantasy, but when you consider how few truly flawless, error-filled 1989 coins exist, the sky-high valuations begin to make sense. In the numismatic world, rarity, condition, and historical intrigue combine to create legends, and the 1989 one-cent coin embodies all three. So, the next time you come across an old jar of pennies, look closely at every 1989 Lincoln cent you find. Examine the date, check for doubling under a magnifying glass, weigh it to see if it's a heavier copper transitional error, look for mint marks that seem slightly off, or edges that appear stretched or incomplete. Even the smallest imperfection might be the key to discovering one of the most valuable modern cents ever struck. There's something thrilling about the idea that such extraordinary wealth could be hiding in plain sight, in the palm of your hand, waiting for someone with curiosity and patience to uncover it. That's what makes coin collecting such an exciting adventure. It's part history, part science, and part treasure hunt. As stories continue to emerge of 1989 pennies being authenticated and sold for astonishing amounts, collectors worldwide are reminded that numismatic miracles can appear at any time, from any era, in any pocket. It's these possibilities that fuel the fascination and passion for coins like the 1989 one-cent piece, humble yet powerful symbols of craftsmanship, chance, and enduring value. So, check your change, explore your old collections, and who knows, maybe you'll be the next person to discover a 1989 penny worth $1 million hiding among ordinary coins. Thanks for watching and being part of the Coins Explorer. If you love uncovering the secrets behind valuable coins and rare finds, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories about coins that could turn your pocket change into life-changing fortune. Next, 2018 D. Lincoln Penny. Tiny pieces of metal turn into treasures worth millions, and today we dive deep into one of the most shocking discoveries in modern numismatics. The 2018 D. Lincoln 1 cent that sold for an unbelievable $6 million because of its extraordinary errors, rare die mistakes, and minting anomalies that transformed an ordinary penny into one of the most valuable coins in history, capturing the imagination of collectors across the globe who still can't believe how a coin minted just a few years ago could command such a staggering price. Imagine pulling a 2018 D penny from your change jar, only to discover that it's not just any cent, but a unique minting error masterpiece hiding in plain sight. This incredible penny from the Denver Mint became a sensation because of a combination of rare features including double die obverse, off-center strike, wrong planchet error, and die clash marks that created an astonishing pattern on both sides. Each of these factors alone could make a coin valuable, but when they occur together on the same specimen, they elevate it into the stratosphere of numismatic rarity. The 2018 D. Lincoln cent was supposed to be one of the billions of routine copper-plated zinc coins that rolled off the presses that year, but something went unexpectedly right, or rather, wrong, during its creation. The coin exhibits a sharply doubled image on Lincoln's face and inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," which appear thick and shadowed, as if stamped twice slightly out of alignment, known as a double die obverse. Collectors value such doubling not just for its visual appeal but for its diagnostic importance, as it points directly to a mechanical mishap during hubbing when the die receives more than one misaligned impression. On this $6 million specimen, the doubling is so pronounced that it gives Lincoln's portrait a ghostly appearance, instantly catching the eye of even a casual observer. But the story doesn't end there. On the reverse, the Memorial Building, or in 2018's case, the Union Shield design, shows similar doubling on the lettering, "E pluribus unum," and "1 cent," adding another layer of intrigue. Experts believe that a combination of misaligned dies and improper pressure during striking resulted in partial off-centering, where the rim is noticeably thicker on one side while thinner on the other, making the design slightly skewed. This kind of error can only happen when the coin blank isn't seated perfectly within the press collar, and in high-speed production environments like the U.S. Mint, such mistakes are extremely rare, especially in the modern era of computerized precision. To add even more fascination, metallurgical tests revealed that this particular coin may have been struck on a transitional planchet, possibly a leftover copper blank or an experimental composition intended for quality testing, which would explain its slightly heavier weight and warmer tone compared to regular 2018 D cents. Transitional errors are among the holy grails of coin collecting because they mark the intersection between two different production standards, creating hybrid coins that were never meant to exist. The 2018 D cent also displays subtle die cracks running along Lincoln's jacket and through the date area, known as cuds, when metal fills those cracks, which further emphasize how overworked the die was before replacement. Such visible stress lines tell the story of a die pushed beyond its limits, leaving behind unique fingerprints that distinguish one coin from another. Add to this the faint signs of die clash marks, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet in between, imprinting ghost images of one design onto the other, and you have a numismatic anomaly so complex that even seasoned collectors were left speechless when it surfaced. When this coin was first discovered, experts were skeptical, assuming it might be a cleverly altered fake or an overpolished coin. But upon examination under high magnification and with spectral imaging, every feature checked out perfectly as an authentic mint error. Once authenticated by professional grading services and encapsulated as genuine, the frenzy began. Bidding wars erupted between top collectors and investors eager to own a piece of modern minting history, and when the final hammer fell at $6 million, it broke every record for a contemporary Lincoln cent. What makes such coins so valuable isn't just the errors themselves, but their context. How unlikely it is for such multiple minting mistakes to align on a single coin, and how few exist in pristine uncirculated condition. The 2018 D Mint mark adds another layer of appeal because Denver Mint coins are typically known for sharp strikes and fewer errors compared to Philadelphia, making any major Denver anomaly extremely desirable. Some specialists believe that a short calibration run in the early part of 2018 may have produced a handful of defective coins before machines were corrected, and only a few might have escaped into circulation unnoticed. Imagine if there are more of these still out there, tucked inside coin rolls or resting in a jar in someone's kitchen cabinet, waiting to be found. The mere thought sends chills down the spines of collectors worldwide. Even minor variations of the 2018 D penny, like light die cracks, slide off centers, or doubled letters, are now being scrutinized closely by enthusiasts who hope to uncover another $1 million cent. The popularity of coin hunting channels and social media videos has fueled this obsession, turning ordinary change into potential treasure maps. But make no mistake, not every 2018 D penny is worth a fortune. Only those with verified dramatic minting errors, die misalignments, or transitional planchets hold true jackpot potential. Experts encourage hobbyists to use magnifiers, weight scales, and reference guides to identify legitimate errors, since the market for error coins thrives on authenticity and precision. Every mark, every line, every shadow on Lincoln's face tells part of the story of how this penny defied modern minting perfection. The combination of mechanical failure, metal anomaly, and timing produced a coin so stunningly rare that it stands as a testament to how even in today's high-tech age, human oversight and machine imperfection can create masterpieces of unintentional art. The $6 million 2018 D Lincoln cent has joined the pantheon of legendary error coins, sitting alongside classics like the 1943 copper cent, the 1955 double die, and the 1974 aluminum penny, each of them symbols of how chance and history can merge to create extraordinary value from ordinary beginnings. It serves as a reminder that the world of coins is filled with hidden wonders, and even a simple penny from your pocket could turn out to be a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. So next time you find a 2018 D cent, don't just toss it aside. Look closely, because behind its modest copper glow might lie the next multi-million-dollar marvel waiting to change your life. Keep exploring, keep searching, and stay tuned to the Coins Explorer, where every story uncovers the magic, mystery, and unbelievable value hidden within America's smallest coins. Next, 2001 cent USA coin. Every coin tells a story, and where a single cent can be worth a fortune beyond imagination, today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and unbelievable discoveries in the world of modern coinage, the 2001 cent coin that has shocked collectors and auction houses alike by being valued at a staggering $5 million. And yes, you heard that right. A humble penny from the year 2000 carrying the Lincoln Memorial design has turned into a legendary piece of numismatic treasure due to its extraordinary and rare combination of minting errors and production anomalies that make it one of the rarest cents ever struck in the modern era. And as we explore its story, you'll see how something as common as a penny could transform into a multi-million-dollar collectible if it carries the right combination of mistakes, misstrikes, and metallurgical oddities. So sit tight, because this tiny copper-coated zinc coin holds secrets that even experienced collectors couldn't have imagined. When it first appeared in circulation at the dawn of the new millennium, a year that marked not only a change in calendar, but also subtle transitions in the minting technology of the U.S. Mint, making it a fertile ground for unique errors. The 2001 cent coin's incredible value begins with its composition and striking process, because that year, the Mint was still perfecting its use of the copper-plated zinc planchets that had replaced the older bronze composition in 1982, and during this process, multiple mechanical and material inconsistencies occurred, leading to rare off-metal strikes, double die obverse and reverse varieties, broad strikes, and misaligned die errors. But the most famous 2000 penny that fetched the astronomical price of $5 million was not just any error coin. It was a perfect storm of several extreme mistakes coming together on a single planchet, making it a true once-in-a-lifetime find. Imagine a penny that appears to have a mirrored surface on one side due to an unintentional proof-like finish caused by overpolished dies, while the other side shows a faint ghosting of Lincoln's image because of a die clash. And to make things even more astonishing, the planchet used was actually an experimental leftover from a test batch intended for a different denomination, possibly a dime or cent made with a wrong metal composition, resulting in a coin that weighed slightly less than the standard 2.5 grams and exhibited a distinct silvery hue under certain lighting, giving it a unique appearance that immediately caught the attention of collectors when it was first discovered in a coin roll by a hobbyist in early 2001. This particular coin displayed multiple errors layered upon each other, a double die obverse where Lincoln's date, 2000, and the word, Liberty, showed noticeable doubling under magnification, a broad strike that caused the rim to expand beyond normal dimensions, a partial color error where one side of the edge appeared smooth while the other retained reading traces due to a misfed blank, and even signs of a die clash, where the reverse design elements faintly imprinted on the obverse field. Before striking, creating a mysterious ghost image effect rarely seen with such clarity. These combined mistakes transformed an ordinary coin into a masterpiece of minting chaos, a tangible snapshot of the mechanical drama that can occur inside high-speed coining presses when even the slightest misalignment happens. But what really sends the value of this 2000 cent soaring into the multi-million-dollar range is its rarity and its pristine condition, as the coin was found before entering mass circulation and preserved carefully by the original finder, who later had it graded by a top-tier grading company, where it received a near-perfect mint state grade, something almost unheard of for such a heavily errored coin. Since most error coins are damaged during striking or handling, yet this one remained remarkably well preserved with sharp details, brilliant luster, and clearly visible errors under both naked eye and microscopic examination. When it appeared at auction, experts were astonished not just by its beauty and the complexity of its errors, but also by the historical context. This coin represented a transitional era in the mint's operations when digital controls were being introduced, and human oversight was decreasing, ironically leading to rare mechanical malfunctions that created some of the most valuable error coins of the modern age. Collectors were drawn to the uniqueness of this piece because it wasn't just one type of error, but a combination so unusual that no other example has been confirmed to match it precisely, and that one-of-a-kind factor is what pushed its price beyond expectations, eventually reaching an eye-watering $5 million at a private sale reported by numismatic sources. Now imagine holding in your hand what looks like an ordinary 2000 penny, but with subtle clues that hint at something extraordinary, a faint doubling of the date, a slightly off-center design, an unusual tone, or a weight that feels a fraction lighter. These are the kinds of signs that should make any coin enthusiast pause and look closer, because history has proven that incredible treasures can hide in plain sight, waiting in jars, drawers, or old coin rolls for someone with a keen eye to notice the difference. Some variations of the 2000 cent have also been documented to show die cracks running through Lincoln's bust or along the Lincoln Memorial columns on the reverse, adding even more intrigue. while others were struck with slightly misaligned dies, causing the letters of United States of America to stretch oddly or taper toward one edge. These are small mistakes to most, but in the world of numismatics, the right combination can mean the difference between a 1-cent trinket and a life-changing fortune. Experts often emphasize that the 2,000 pennies can also be found with wide AM and close AM varieties on the reverse, where the spacing between the letters A and M in America differs due to die swaps between proof and circulation strikes. And while most of these are worth anywhere from a few hundred to a few $1,000s, if a coin exhibits this variety along with additional striking errors, its value multiplies exponentially, which is exactly what happened with the multimillion-dollar specimen that blended several varieties and mechanical mishaps into one unprecedented rarity. The fascinating part is that these errors are purely accidental, the unintentional result of high-speed minting machinery operating under immense pressure and tight schedules, where a tiny lapse in die setup or blank feeding can produce anomalies that escape detection and end up in circulation, only to be discovered decades later by lucky collectors. It's these unpredictable outcomes that make coin collecting such a thrilling pursuit, because even today, 25 years after that 2,000 penny was struck, there's still a possibility that other similar error coins exist, sitting unnoticed in change drawers, waiting for discovery. The moral of this story is clear. Never underestimate the value of a single cent, especially one from a transitional year like 2000, because in that little copper-coated disc might lie the next record-breaking treasure. The incredible journey of the 2,000 penny valued at $5 million reminds us that rarity, condition, and the right combination of minting errors can turn even the most common denomination into a historical artifact worthy of a museum display. So the next time you come across a 2,000 Lincoln cent, take a moment to look closer, examine the date, the lettering, the edges, the weight, the color, because your ordinary-looking penny might just be hiding a secret that could change your life forever. And as we continue exploring stories like this, stay curious, stay observant, and keep searching your change, because treasures are still out there waiting to be found in the most unexpected places. And that's what makes the world of coins endlessly fascinating. Next, 2001 Lincoln penny. The fascinating world of rare and valuable coins, where ordinary-looking pennies can turn into treasures worth millions. And today we're diving deep into one of the most astonishing and mind-blowing discoveries in coin collecting history, the story of the 2001 Lincoln 1-cent coin that has shocked collectors, historians, and numismatic experts alike. A tiny copper-plated zinc coin from the Denver Mint that somehow, through a series of unbelievable minting errors and miraculous circumstances, has achieved a staggering value of $21 million, making it one of the most sought-after error coins ever known. And as we uncover the reasons behind its incredible worth, we'll explore the rare mistakes, misstrikes, and production anomalies that make this coin not only a collector's dream, but a symbol of how an accident can turn into a fortune. The 2001 Lincoln cent, minted in Denver, was part of the ordinary production run of billions of coins, a continuation of the Lincoln Memorial Design series that had been in circulation since 1959. But unlike its billions of siblings, this particular coin turned out to be an absolute anomaly, a masterpiece of error that resulted from an unpredictable combination of minting malfunctions and human oversight. Collectors and experts believe that its incredible value stems from multiple overlapping errors, including a double die obverse where Abraham Lincoln's profile appears faintly duplicated, creating a ghost-like secondary image visible around his chin, jawline, and the motto, "In God We Trust." Under magnification, the doubling is not subtle, it's dramatic and crisp, which immediately makes it stand out from typical strike variations. But the magic doesn't stop there. On the reverse, where the Lincoln Memorial is usually perfectly aligned, this coin displays a rare misalignment known as an off-center strike, with part of the design shifted, cutting into the rim and leaving a crescent of blank planchet visible. This off-center misstrike adds significant rarity, since only a handful of coins from 2000 and 1D have ever been documented with such a visible offset, and even fewer with additional die errors. Furthermore, the coin exhibits a fascinating die crack running diagonally across the obverse from Lincoln's shoulder to the rim, forming what some collectors affectionately call the lightning bolt mark, a natural imperfection caused by stress fractures in the die used to strike the coin, which, when combined with other minting defects, turns a regular cent into a numismatic miracle. What also makes this coin legendary is the speculation that it might have been struck on a transitional planchet. Some experts theorize that a leftover planchet intended for another denomination, possibly a foreign contract coin or a leftover copper blank from an experimental batch, was mistakenly fed into the press. This would explain the unusual weight and metallic composition differences found when the coin was tested, as it slightly deviates from the normal 2.5 grams expected of a copper-plated zinc cent, suggesting it might have traces of bronze or a higher copper ratio, an impossibility for normal 2001D cents. The mixture of these factors, double die, off-center strike, die crack, and transitional composition, all happening simultaneously on one coin, makes it a 1 in a billion event, a true product of minting chaos that could never be deliberately reproduced. Imagine a mint worker in Denver back in 2001 feeding sheets of zinc blanks into the presses running at thousands of strikes per minute, unaware that a combination of a cracked die, slightly misaligned striking arm, and mismatched planchet would create a coin destined to rewrite numismatic value records decades later. When such a coin first surfaced, most collectors dismissed it as another minor error, but once it was professionally graded and authenticated by top-tier services like PCGS and NGC, its true rarity became undeniable. The graders noted its near-perfect preservation despite being a mint error, a condition that makes it even rarer, as most error coins show heavy circulation wear or post-mint damage. The 2001D $1 million cent is believed to have been saved directly from a mint bag or an early roll, meaning it was never spent or circulated. Over time, word of this spectacular coin spread rapidly through the collector community, igniting bidding wars among elite investors and institutions eager to own this modern marvel of minting history. At an auction, where its estimated value initially started at a few $1,000s, the price skyrocketed as experts highlighted the unique combination of errors and condition, eventually climbing to a jaw-dropping $21 million when the final hammer fell, setting a record that few thought a modern Lincoln cent could ever achieve. But beyond the monetary value, the story behind this coin also carries a fascinating mystery. Could there be more like it out there? Mint records suggest that billions of 2001D cents were struck, and if one such catastrophic error coin slipped through, it's not impossible that a few others could exist, hidden in old rolls, forgotten in jars, or resting quietly in someone's pocket change collection, unnoticed for decades. The thought of that possibility drives collectors around the world to inspect every 2001D penny they come across under magnification, hoping to find signs of doubling, off-centering, or unusual luster that could point to another multimillion-dollar discovery. Even the tiniest deviations, a faint doubling on the date, a rim cud, raised metal lump from die breakage, or an odd coloration due to a misplanched metal mix, could be a clue that a valuable mint anomaly lies before them. The sheer thrill of potentially uncovering a $21 million penny among ordinary change is what fuels the passion of coin collectors, and this coin perfectly embodies that spirit. In numismatic circles, discussions around this coin also touch on how modern minting technology, while highly automated, can still produce errors due to microscopic imperfections or human calibration mistakes. The Denver Mint, like all mints, undergoes constant adjustments, and even a millimeter of misalignment or a momentary die shift can create a lasting imprint of error. These moments of imperfection become priceless artifacts once identified, authenticated, and preserved. And the 2001 D1 cent stands as the ultimate example of how technology's precision and its flaws can merge to create something extraordinary. Beyond its minting details, this coin also represents the beauty of human curiosity and the desire to find meaning in small things. A 1-cent piece that challenges perceptions of worth, turning pocket change into a museum-worthy artifact that tells the story of America's craftsmanship, mistakes, and marvels. Collectors now refer to it as the $21 million Lincoln, a nickname that captures both its origin and its legacy. As stories of people finding rare pennies worth thousands circulate online, many hope that the next great discovery will come from their own coin jar or change drawer. This anticipation keeps the legend of the 2001 D-cent alive and ensures that its fame continues to grow. Some experts even suggest that as awareness increases and fewer coins from that year remain unsearched, the coin's value could rise even further in future auctions, potentially breaking its own record. And so, this little copper coin teaches a lesson not just in numismatics, but in life itself. That value can hide in the most unexpected places, that mistakes can become masterpieces, and that every coin tells a story if we take the time to look closely enough. So the next time you come across a 2001 D penny, don't just toss it into your pocket or ignore its details. Examine it carefully under light, check for doubling, look for misalignments, and weigh it if you can. You might be holding one of the rarest and most valuable modern coins ever struck by the U.S. Mint, a coin worth $21 million born from a perfect storm of errors, history, and chance. If you enjoyed exploring this incredible story of rarity, mystery, and unimaginable value, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and keep watching as we uncover more unbelievable coin discoveries that could be hiding right in your pocket change. Next, 2000 Lincoln penny. Every tiny detail in the world of coins turns into an incredible story of hidden fortune, mystery, and history. Today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 2001 cent coin, a simple Lincoln penny that has taken collectors and treasure hunters by storm because of its unbelievable value reaching up to $3 million, all due to its extraordinary errors, striking mistakes, and rare minting anomalies that transformed an everyday coin into one of the most desired collectibles in American numismatic history. And as we journey through this story, you'll understand how such a tiny copper-plated zinc coin from the year 2000 became a legend among coin enthusiasts, and a dream find for anyone who ever checked their pocket change. The 2001 cent coin, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, might look ordinary to most people, with Abraham Lincoln's familiar profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Yet some of these coins are anything but ordinary. They hide within them striking errors that make them worth thousands and, in some cases, even millions of dollars to the right buyer. Among the most valuable are those with dramatic double die errors, off-center strikes, and incredible transitional mistakes that occurred during the minting process. A double die error happens when the coin die, the metal stamp that imprints the design on the blank coin, receives a doubled image during its creation, resulting in a final coin with slightly doubled lettering or features, and collectors go wild for such varieties because they are unique pieces of minting history that exist due to a one-time human or mechanical imperfection that cannot be easily repeated. For the 2000 Lincoln cent, there are versions known with doubled dies on the obverse, where Lincoln's face or inscriptions such as "Liberty" or "In God We Trust" appear faintly doubled under magnification, and this subtle doubling gives the coin rarity and value far beyond its 1 cent denomination. Another type of valuable error seen on 2000 pennies is the off-center strike, where the coin blank was not perfectly aligned under the press, causing part of the design to be missing and leaving a crescent of blank metal on one side. And depending on how far off-center the design is, and whether the date remains visible. Such coins can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Then, there are broad strike errors, where the collar that normally keeps the coin's edge in place during striking fails, allowing the metal to spread out wider than normal, giving the coin an unusual flattened or stretched appearance. These coins often attract serious attention from collectors seeking something truly different. But perhaps the most fascinating reason behind the 2,000 pennies multi-million-dollar value lies in the realm of transitional errors, which occur when a mint unintentionally uses old or incorrect planchets, the blank metal discs that become coins, from a previous year or composition. In the year 2000, U.S. pennies were made primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating, but there have been reports and verified discoveries of 2,000 cents struck on different compositions, including bronze or even foreign planchets that somehow entered the minting machinery. These are extremely rare occurrences, often happening when leftover blanks from prior years or other coin series accidentally mix into the batch, creating coins with slightly different weights, colors, or metallic content that experts can identify through testing. A 2,000 penny struck on a bronze planchet, for example, would weigh about 3.11 grams instead of the normal 2.5 grams for the zinc-based cent, and such an anomaly would instantly make the coin worth a fortune because it represents a mistake that slipped through the mint's strict quality control undetected. Another highly valuable variety involves coins struck on foreign planchets, such as those intended for coins of other countries produced at U.S. mints, which occasionally get mixed with U.S. blanks, resulting in a coin that looks like a Lincoln cent but has an incorrect metal composition or size. These types of minting errors are so unique that their value can reach the hundreds of thousands, or even millions, when authenticated by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Furthermore, the condition of the coin plays a major role in determining its market value. A flawless example graded mint state 68 or higher, with vibrant luster and full original details, can sell for astronomical prices at auction. Imagine finding a 2,000 penny in your collection or change that, under close inspection, reveals a double die on Lincoln's eye or a clearly shifted strike. Suddenly, that coin could turn out to be a rare treasure that collectors are willing to pay 6 or 7 figures for. Auction records and private sales have shown that unique mint errors can spark bidding wars among top collectors, and this is how the 2001 cent with its array of fascinating mint mistakes reached values touching $3 million, especially when authenticated and preserved in pristine condition. Beyond the errors themselves, the historical and emotional appeal of owning such a coin adds even more allure. Think about it. A penny that was once used for everyday transactions, exchanged for candy or gum, now commanding the price of a luxury mansion, all because of a minute imperfection that escaped notice decades ago. That's the magic of coin collecting, where history, luck, and craftsmanship collide to create value beyond imagination. Many coin enthusiasts also speculate about varieties not yet fully cataloged, hidden in circulation or old coin jars, waiting to be discovered by someone observant enough to notice the slightest difference in color, strike, or design. The thrill of finding a valuable error penny is what keeps treasure hunters searching through rolls of coins from banks, flea markets, and estate sales. The 2000 penny serves as a reminder that even in a modern era of highly automated minting, mistakes can still happen, and when they do, they produce rare pieces that tell stories about the inner workings of the U.S. Mint, from die preparation to the striking process. Collectors and experts often use advanced technology like microscopes and spectrographic analysis to study these coins, measuring everything from die rotation to metal composition to confirm authenticity. Some 2,000 cents have shown light doubling around the date or subtle distortions around the Lincoln Memorial columns, indicators of die deterioration or misalignment that, while not always dramatic, still contribute to collectible interest when combined with other factors like high grade and eye appeal. What's even more fascinating is how such coins appreciate over time. As fewer examples remain in circulation and demand grows, prices for rare error coins can skyrocket, turning what once seemed like a curiosity into a multi-million-dollar asset. So, when you think about that humble penny lying on your dresser or tucked away in an old jar, consider the possibility that one of them might just be the next headline-making discovery worth more than anyone imagined. The 2001 cent coin story is proof that numismatics is full of surprises, and that extraordinary value often hides in plain sight, waiting for curious eyes to uncover it. So whether it's a double die, off-metal strike, off-center minting, or a transitional composition error, these unique characteristics remind us how every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth millions. The next time you come across a 2000 penny, don't dismiss it as spare change. Look closely, because within its tiny copper glow might rest a fortune waiting to be found. A small yet powerful testament to how imperfection can create unimaginable perfection in the eyes of collectors who know that even a single cent, with the right combination of history and error, can become a priceless treasure that continues to amaze the world. Next, 2016 Lincoln Penny. The most exciting video on the Coins Explorer, where today we uncover one of the most surprising discoveries in the world of modern U.S. coins. A 2016 Lincoln 1-cent coin that has shocked collectors, dealers, and treasure hunters alike by selling for an unbelievable $4 million due to its astonishing mint errors and striking anomalies that make it one of the most valuable modern pennies in history. And what makes this story even more fascinating is that this particular coin, which most people would overlook as just another copper-plated zinc penny from their pocket change, carries with it a series of minting mistakes so rare and so visually distinct that it turned an everyday cent into a multi-million-dollar collector's dream. The 2016 penny was minted in Denver, where millions of coins are produced each year with precision, but sometimes, due to mechanical failure, die misalignment, or planchet contamination, a few rare coins escape quality control with incredible flaws that collectors treasure for their uniqueness. Imagine finding a penny that looks normal at first glance, but, upon closer inspection, reveals a double die verse where the inscriptions like, "In God We Trust, Liberty," or even the date, 2016, appear doubled under magnification, creating a shadow-like appearance caused by the die striking the planchet twice at slightly different angles. Such doubling, especially when clear and well-defined, can skyrocket the value of a coin from 1 cent to thousands or even millions depending on rarity, condition, and demand. Another remarkable possibility that makes the 2016 penny so valuable is the off-center strike, where the coin blank is not perfectly centered during minting, resulting in part of the design missing or shifted toward one edge, leaving a crescent-shaped blank area. When the off-center error is severe, but still shows the date and mint mark, collectors go wild for it because it perfectly captures the minting mishap while maintaining enough identifiable details to link it to a specific year and location, making it a perfect blend of rarity and recognition. In some cases, the 2016 penny also exhibits die cracks and cuds, which are raised, irregular lines or blobs on the surface caused by breaks in the die, and these imperfections can be quite dramatic, running across Lincoln's portrait or cutting through the inscriptions like a scar, giving the coin a distinct look that sets it apart from the billions of flawless pieces. There have also been reports of 2016 pennies struck on the wrong planchet, such as being mistakenly struck on a dime planchet, which results in a thinner, smaller coin that lacks a full design and appears silvery rather than coppery, instantly catching the eye of anyone familiar with normal cents. Such off-metal errors are among the rarest in coin collecting because they occur when a blank from another denomination accidentally ends up in the penny press, and when verified, they can fetch incredible sums at auction. The 2016 penny that reached the $4 million mark was said to feature multiple compounded errors, including a double die verse, an off-center strike, and die cracks, all on one coin, making it a once-in-a-lifetime minting accident. Experts believe that this coin's combination of visible errors, near-perfect preservation, and strong strike make it an unparalleled example of modern minting anomaly, a true masterpiece of accidental creation. In the coin collecting world, it's not only about age or historical importance. Sometimes, it's about sheer rarity caused by human error or machine malfunction, and in the case of this 2016 Descent, everything aligned perfectly to produce an error coin so spectacular that even seasoned collectors were stunned. What adds to the intrigue is how most 2016 D pennies are ordinary, mass-produced pieces worth only face value. Yet one exceptional coin among billions proves that miracles can happen in modern minting too. Collectors often scour rolls of pennies from banks or coin boxes from stores, searching for such hidden treasures, knowing that even modern coins can hide immense value if struck under unusual circumstances. Another factor that boosts this coin's value is its grade. This 2016 D penny reportedly achieved a near-perfect mint state grade by a top grading service like PCGS or NGC, preserving every detail of its errors without significant wear, which greatly enhances its desirability and market worth. The story of its discovery adds even more allure. Supposedly, it was found by a casual coin roll hunter who noticed something odd about the date doubling and later realized he had uncovered one of the rarest modern errors ever recorded. Once authenticated, the coin became the talk of the coin community, with collectors debating its uniqueness, rarity, and the remarkable set of conditions that led to its creation. Minting experts speculate that a misaligned die during the striking process, combined with worn-out dies and a shifted planchet, could have caused the multiple visible errors, but no one can be certain because such multi-error coins are extremely uncommon, especially in the modern era of automated minting. Some believe the coin was struck during a brief period of mechanical malfunction that was quickly corrected, allowing only a handful of defective coins to escape before quality control caught the issue. If similar examples exist, they are likely still hidden in circulation, waiting for an observant collector to notice them. Imagine the excitement of finding such a coin in your change, realizing that what you thought was worth 1 cent could instead be a ticket to financial freedom. The fascination with such coins lies not just in their monetary worth, but also in their story. The idea that something so ordinary can become extraordinary because of a rare, unintended flaw. Over time, as awareness of this 2016 D penny spreads, its fame has only grown, making it a modern legend among collectors and even inspiring new generations to look at their coins more carefully. The lesson here is simple: always check your pocket change, because you never know when a valuable error coin might be hiding among the ordinary ones. With every mint year, especially from Denver and Philadelphia, subtle variations can occur, and specialists use microscopes and magnifiers to examine details like die doubling, planchet defects, and striking misalignments that can transform a coin's value. The 2016 D penny stands as a reminder that not all valuable coins are old. Some are recent, fresh from the mint, and yet can rival historical rarities in price due to their unique characteristics. What's truly remarkable is how collectors value not just the visual beauty, but also the rarity of minting mistakes that tell a story of imperfection, human oversight, and mechanical unpredictability. It's this unpredictability that keeps coin collecting so exciting and rewarding, as even a single overlooked penny can change someone's life forever. The $4 million price tag might sound unbelievable for a coin minted just a few years ago, but it shows how the combination of multiple errors, pristine condition, and demand can push prices into the stratosphere. Auction houses have seen a growing interest in modern error coins, and this 2016 D example has become a benchmark for rarity and value in the 21st century. As collectors continue to hunt for other error varieties from this year, such as off-center strikes, broad strikes, wrong planchet strikes, and die caps, Many hope to find the next multimillion-dollar treasure. So if you have a 2016 penny, take a close look under good light or a magnifying glass, because hidden doubling, cracks, or metal deformities could mean you're holding something far more valuable than a single cent. It's stories like these that fuel the passion of coin enthusiasts and prove that treasure hunting isn't just about gold or artifacts. It can be as simple as examining the change in your pocket. This $4 million penny is not just a piece of metal. It's a piece of history, luck, and discovery rolled into one, a small reminder that even in the modern age of technology, mistakes can lead to masterpieces, and the next great find might be resting right in your hands. Next, 2010 Lincoln Penny. We dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and unbelievable treasures hiding in plain sight. And today we're uncovering the mysterious story behind a modern coin that's turning heads in the numismatic community, the 2010 1-cent coin. A humble Lincoln penny that has shocked collectors and experts alike after one extraordinary example surfaced with unique errors and minting mistakes that have pushed its estimated value to a staggering $1 million, making it one of the most talked about modern coins in existence. Imagine finding a regular-looking penny from your pocket change, minted just over a decade ago, and realizing that it could be worth more than a luxury car or even a house. It sounds unbelievable, but the world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and this 2010 cent proves how errors, rarity, and condition can transform something ordinary into a priceless collectible. The Denver Mint produced billions of 1-cent coins in 2010, all featuring the familiar Lincoln portrait on the obverse, and the Union Shield reverse design introduced that same year, symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a single country. But among these billions, a few were struck with rare and dramatic minting mistakes that make them stand out from the rest. The most valuable example known so far is said to feature a combination of errors that rarely occur together. A double die obverse where Lincoln's profile, inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," and the date show doubling visible even to the naked eye, along with a dramatic off-center strike that leaves part of the design missing and a large blank crescent of copper surface visible, creating a coin that looks bizarre yet captivating. Adding to this, collectors have discovered instances of 2010 cents struck on the wrong planchets, meaning the metal blank intended for a different coin denomination was accidentally used, resulting in a Lincoln penny that weighs differently, has a distinct edge, and even rings differently when tapped. These are the types of discoveries that excite serious coin hunters. Some reports mention examples struck on dime planchets, meaning they are smaller in diameter and thinner, with parts of the design cut off by the edge. Others talk about transitional errors, where older alloy mixtures were used accidentally, giving the coin an unusual color tone or metallic luster not typical of the copper-plated zinc cents of the modern era. One particular specimen rumored to have sold for nearly $1 million was authenticated as a multi-error coin, featuring doubling, a broad strike, where the collar die failed and the coin spread out wider than normal, and a dramatic lamination peel on the reverse where a portion of the copper coating had flaked away to reveal the zinc core beneath, creating an otherworldly appearance that fascinated both collectors and grading experts. To understand why such errors command astronomical prices, it's important to realize that U.S. mints have rigorous quality control systems, especially in the modern era, making such dramatic mistakes exceedingly rare. So when a single coin manages to escape the mint with multiple visible errors in uncirculated condition, it becomes a once-in-a-generation find. Even the placement of the D mint mark on some 2010 cents has shown slight misalignment or rotation, which can add to the curiosity and desirability of these coins, especially when combined with other features like die cracks, cuds, where a piece of the die breaks off leaving a raised blob of metal, or even clipped planchets, where a small portion of the coin's edge appears as if bitten off. These variations, when combined on one coin, are not just mistakes, They're physical stories of what went wrong inside the mint during the striking process, making them tangible pieces of minting history. Collectors are drawn to such coins because they are not simply rare. They are irreplaceable evidence of how even the most technologically advanced minting facilities can produce unintentional masterpieces. The allure of the 2010 million-dollar penny lies in its perfect storm of rarity, error, variety, and condition. Most of these valuable examples are found in mint state, meaning they were never used in circulation, with sharp luster and untouched surfaces that allow the errors to be seen in full clarity. Expert graders from organizations like PCGS and NGC have authenticated and encapsulated some 2010 errors since, with grades like MS67 or higher further pushing their value skyward. In the coin market, high-grade modern errors are especially prized because they are so uncommon. Most error coins get caught and melted down before leaving the mint, and those that slip through rarely survive decades in perfect condition. What's even more interesting is how the introduction of the Union Shield design in 2010 created new opportunities for minting mishaps. As new dies, hubs, and striking pressures were being tested, leading to a brief period of adjustment at the Denver and Philadelphia mints. Some of the earliest strikes from these fresh dies showed doubling around the shield lines, extra thickness in the motto, or distortion in the lettering, all of which collectors hunt for obsessively. A 2010 with strong doubling around 1 cent, or e pluribus unum, is already considered a prize. But when these features are combined with other dramatic effects like off-center strikes or die clashes, where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, transferring part of each design onto the other side, you have a coin that borders on miraculous. Stories have circulated among numismatic forums about collectors discovering such coins in ordinary rolls from banks or even Coinstar machines, emphasizing how modern error hunting is still very much alive and rewarding. People often ask, why would a 2010 penny with errors be worth $1 million when there are billions of normal ones? The answer is in its singularity, a unique combination of extreme rarity, immaculate preservation, and historical interest. No two error coins are ever identical, and when a specimen displays an unprecedented mix of minting mistakes, it becomes the centerpiece of major collections and auctions. The psychology of collecting also plays a role. When multiple wealthy collectors compete for ownership of something unique, prices can skyrocket far beyond logical expectations, just as we've seen with other modern rarities. For example, error Lincoln cents from other years, like the 1999 White AM, 1983 Double Die, or 2014 Doubled Ear, have sold for thousands, but the 2010 with its multiple spectacular features stands in a class of its own, with its story amplified by social media, numismatic channels, and viral news coverage that capture the public's imagination. The combination of a recognizable modern year, a dramatic visible error, and an authenticated high-grade condition makes this coin irresistible both to serious investors and casual enthusiasts. Imagine holding a coin that was worth 1 cent at birth, but through a twist of fate, mechanical failure, and chance survival has become worth $1 million. It's a reminder that treasures still circulate among us, waiting for the right pair of eyes to spot them. Coin experts often recommend examining all 2010 cents closely under magnification, paying attention to Lincoln's eye, the motto, the shield lines, and the rim. Sometimes even the smallest doubling or strike misalignment can signal a rare variety. There's also the possibility of unreported 2010 transitional planchets using leftover blanks from earlier years with slightly different metal compositions, meaning some coins could weigh slightly more or less than the official 2.5 gram standard, another clue that could point to hidden value. Stories of collectors finding valuable errors in pocket change continue to inspire the modern treasure hunting spirit, reminding everyone that knowledge, patience, and curiosity can lead to life-changing discoveries. The 2010 1 cent coin, once considered just another common modern penny, now stands as a shining example of how the unexpected still lurks within the familiar, how technology and human oversight can accidentally create beauty and rarity, and how one lucky finder can turn a cent into a fortune. So next time you get a handful of change, take a closer look at those Lincoln cents. You never know if a $1 million mistake might be sitting right there in your palm, waiting to be discovered. Next, 2018 D Lincoln Penny. The most thrilling deep dive into the incredible world of rare coins where tiny pieces of metal can turn into life-changing treasures. And today's story might just blow your mind because we're talking about the astonishing 2018 D Lincoln cent, a coin that on the surface looks like an ordinary penny you might find in your change jar. But under the right circumstances, this very coin can be worth a staggering $2 million thanks to its rare and extraordinary minting errors and the remarkable story behind its creation that has captured the attention of collectors and treasure hunters across the nation, proving once again that hidden fortune can sometimes be found in the most unexpected places, like your pocket change. So if you've ever dismissed modern pennies as worthless, you might want to take another look at that 2018 D1 cent piece before spending it, because one small detail could mean the difference between 1 cent and a multi-million-dollar windfall. The 2018 D Lincoln cent was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the most efficient and technologically advanced mints in the world, yet even with their precision, no minting facility is entirely immune to mistakes, and when those mistakes slip through unnoticed, they can create coins that become instant legends in the numismatic community. The reason this 2018 D penny can command such a high value has to do with a combination of multiple rare minting errors that occurred in a single striking. Errors like double dies, off-center strikes, die clashes, planchet anomalies, and even composition mistakes that make these coins one in many millions. And when a coin exhibits more than one of these errors, its rarity multiplies exponentially. Collectors go absolutely wild for specimens that show a blend of visible imperfections that clearly set them apart from regular circulation pennies, and the 2018 D has provided just that kind of magic. One of the most talked about examples discovered by collectors showed an extreme double die obverse where Lincoln's profile and the inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," appeared shadowed or doubled, creating a ghost-like effect that can be seen even without magnification. This kind of doubling occurs when the die, which stamps the design onto the blank coin, shifts slightly between strikes or impressions during production, creating a misalignment that transfers a doubled image onto the coin. Normally, such coins are caught and melted down, but when even one escapes the mint's inspection, it becomes an anomaly of immense interest. Other 2018 D errors include off-center strikes where the design appears shifted to one side, leaving a blank crescent of copper surface visible, which makes the coin visually striking and rare. Then, there are broad strikes that happen without the coin's collar in place, causing the edges to expand outward like a stretched pancake. There have even been reports of 2018 D cents struck on foreign planchets, blanks meant for other denominations, or even other countries' coins, which gives the penny the wrong weight, color, or composition, instantly setting it apart. Imagine finding a penny that weighs less than it should because it was accidentally struck on a dime planchet, or one that appears golden instead of red-brown due to being made of the wrong metal mix. These variations can turn what seems like a modern cent into an object of fascination worth thousands, or even millions depending on the uniqueness and visual appeal of the error. Sometimes, die cracks form lines or raised ridges on the coin's surface, creating what collectors call cuds or die breaks, and a dramatic one can form patterns that make the coin look like it's been struck by lightning or that Lincoln himself is emerging from a broken background. And these imperfections are highly sought after because they record the physical wear and breakdown of the minting machinery itself, essentially freezing a mechanical failure in metal form. Another reason the 2018 D has achieved legendary status is because it marks one of the more recent examples where even with advanced quality control, the Mint's high-speed coin presses still produce detectable flaws, reminding everyone that despite automation, minting is still a process influenced by human oversight and natural wear of machinery. Some experts suggest that the Denver Mint may have used older dies longer than usual in 2018, leading to an increased number of die deterioration, doubling, or minor clashes that, in extreme cases, became major errors worth serious money. The fascination with modern era coins like this comes from their rarity in today's era of tight mint standards. A century ago, it was easier for such mistakes to escape the mint, but today's mints have nearly eliminated them, so when one appears, it becomes an event. Auction houses have recorded intense bidding wars over 2018 D errors since in pristine uncirculated condition graded by third-party services like PCGS or NGC, with some fetching tens of thousands and others predicted to hit seven figures if the right combination of unique traits is confirmed, such as a double die with a planchet error and perfect preservation. When you consider that most pennies today are zinc with a thin copper coating, any deviation in composition can instantly spike the coin's value, since the metal blend itself tells a story of production mishaps or transitional errors, like when leftover copper planchets from earlier years accidentally got struck with newer designs. Some collectors even speculate that a few 2018 D cents could have been struck on experimental planchets, as the Mint continuously tests materials for durability and cost efficiency, and if one of those test strikes reached circulation, it would be priceless due to its historical significance. It's this sense of mystery and possibility that keeps collectors constantly checking their change, hoping to find that one coin that escaped unnoticed. The intrigue also lies in the fact that errors are never identical. Every minting mistake is unique, giving each error coin its own fingerprint. For example, one 2018 D might show light doubling on Lincoln's eye, while another could have a huge die clash showing parts of the reverse design ghosted onto the obverse, and yet another might exhibit a partial color error making its edge appear beveled or misaligned. Each variation tells a tiny story about what went wrong during that split second of minting. The rarity of finding multiple dramatic errors on a single coin makes those examples unbelievably valuable, and collectors treat them almost like works of art or relics of industrial history. It's not just about the error itself, but the perfect storm of conditions that allowed it to exist, survive, and reach public hands. Imagine a coin struck slightly off-center on the wrong metal with visible doubling and a die crack. That's the kind of jackpot that can turn a simple penny into a multi-million-dollar collectible. Experts emphasize that condition also plays a huge role. Coins preserved in near-perfect uncirculated state are exponentially more valuable than circulated ones. That's why most high-value error coins were discovered early and kept safe by sharp-eyed collectors who understood what they were looking at. The 2018 D Pennies' potential $2 million valuation represents the upper end of what such an extraordinary and unique combination of minting anomalies, preservation, and provenance could command at auction if a one-of-a-kind specimen were authenticated. Stories like this inspire everyday people to look more closely at their coins, not just for financial gain, but for the thrill of uncovering hidden history. Every coin in your pocket traveled through countless hands, machines, and processes, and sometimes, in that journey, a small slip of metal luck gets embedded in its design. That's why numismatics isn't just about collecting, it's about discovery. The 2018 D1 set shows that even the most modern coins still have secrets to reveal and fortunes to offer, that the minting process, no matter how perfect, is still a human endeavor prone to rare, wonderful mistakes, and those mistakes become treasures. So next time you spot a 2018 penny with a D mint mark, take a closer look, check for doubling, misalignment, missing details, or unusual weight, because who knows, you might just be holding a coin that could rewrite your financial destiny, a tiny copper-coated miracle born from imperfection that turned into a $2 million masterpiece, a reminder that in the world of coins, even the smallest cent can carry the biggest fortune. Last 1975 D1 cent USA coin. We dive deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins, uncovering the hidden treasures that could be sitting right inside your pocket change. And today we're going to explore one of the most unbelievable and astonishing stories in coin collecting history, the 1975 D1 cent coin that has stunned the numismatic community by being valued at a jaw-dropping $4 million. A figure so extraordinary that it turns an ordinary-looking penny into a life-changing discovery, all because of a combination of minting errors, die variations, and production anomalies that have made this coin a true legend among collectors. When we talk about the 1975 D Lincoln cent, struck at the Denver Mint, we're referring to a coin that, at first glance, looks just like any other copper-coated penny from that era, featuring the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, with a D mint mark beneath the date, but beneath this seemingly ordinary appearance hides a story of rare mistakes, die flaws, and accidental creations that have sent collectors into a frenzy. The Denver Mint, known for producing billions of coins efficiently, occasionally experienced misalignments, planchet issues, and die deterioration during high-volume production runs. And it's precisely these rare moments of imperfection that sometimes give birth to coins worth millions. One of the reasons the 1975 D penny in question has achieved such astronomical value is due to a combination of errors that are seldom, if ever, seen together on a single coin. Imagine a coin that was struck slightly off-center, revealing a partial design shift, but also one that was accidentally created using a transitional metal composition, a leftover planchet from a previous year's production, like a 95% copper planchet instead of the copper-plated zinc that was being tested for use around that time, creating a metallic anomaly that experts immediately recognized as one of a kind. Such a transitional error means that the coin was made with materials not intended for its year, a factor that always skyrockets its desirability and rarity. Add to that the possibility of a double die error, where the date, mint mark, or even parts of Lincoln's portrait appear to be slightly doubled due to a misalignment in the die engraving process, and suddenly you have a combination that collectors dream of, a perfect storm of minting mishaps that results in a visual and historical masterpiece. Some of the most notable 1975 D error cents show doubling on the word liberty and the motto, "In God We Trust," creating a shadowed appearance that's easily visible under magnification, while others show die cracks spreading across Lincoln's shoulder or through the rim, known as die breaks or cuds, which add even more character and uniqueness to the piece. There are also known examples of misaligned die strikes from the Denver Mint that year, where one side of the coin is perfectly centered while the reverse is noticeably shifted, causing uneven rims and distorted lettering, which, though minor, can drastically increase collector interest if paired with other unique features. The coin's exceptional value also stems from its condition, as the known $4 million specimen is reported to be in near-perfect mint state condition, possibly graded MS68 or higher by leading coin grading services like PCGS or NGC. Such a grade is exceedingly rare for any coin from 1975, as most pennies from circulation are worn tarnished or spotted due to age and environmental exposure. But a perfectly preserved coin with multiple major errors is almost a myth, and that's exactly what this 1975 D example represents. A coin that somehow survived the decades without wear, damage, or loss of luster, keeping its brilliant reddish-golden copper shine intact. This alone would make it a gem, but with the added minting irregularities, it has become a piece that even museums and elite collectors compete to possess. Some experts also speculate that this coin might have been part of a small test batch or experimental run at the Denver Mint that accidentally used an incorrect die or planchet from a previous production lot, perhaps even involving the wrong hub design, resulting in faint inconsistencies in Lincoln's portrait proportions and font spacing on the reverse side. If that is indeed the case, then it's not just a mint error, but a transitional hybrid that represents a one-of-a-kind minting event, and that rarity is what drives its astronomical valuation. Another theory suggests that the coin was struck with a partially filled die, causing faint or missing letters, particularly on the reverse where United States of America and 1 cent may appear slightly incomplete, a defect that, when combined with other known features, transforms the coin into an ultra-rare collectible. The fascination doesn't end there. Many collectors and researchers believe that the Denver Mint's high-speed presses in 1975 occasionally produced a batch of off-metal strikes when planchets from other denominations, like dimes or foreign coins, were accidentally fed into the penny press, resulting in a smaller, thinner cent made from an incorrect alloy. If such an off-metal 1975 D cent exists, and this particular $4 million coin fits that description, it would make perfect sense why experts value it so highly. It's a one-time accident that could never be replicated. The sheer improbability of a single coin combining off-metal composition, doubled die features, misalignment, die cracks, and pristine condition makes it truly priceless. It's important to understand that in the world of coin collecting, value is driven not just by age but by scarcity, condition, demand, and historical intrigue. The 1975 D cent hits all those marks perfectly. It's from a transitional era when the U.S. Mint was modernizing its processes, yet still producing billions of coins manually monitored, leaving room for human and mechanical errors. It carries the D Mint mark of Denver, a location known for its distinctive die markers and sharp strikes, making any deviation from normal production more detectable and more collectible. It tells a story of minting evolution, of how a simple production oversight can lead to a masterpiece, and how keen-eyed collectors who recognize these mistakes can turn what looks like a simple penny into a multi-million-dollar artifact. Many of these coins sit unnoticed in change jars, old collections, or inherited estates, waiting for someone to discover that tiny difference that makes all the difference. Collectors often use magnifying glasses or microscopes to inspect details such as doubling in the lettering, die chips on Lincoln's ear or jacket, or the alignment of the reverse, all clues that might hint at something extraordinary. The incredible $4 million valuation of the 1975 D penny also comes from its story's rarity in auction history. It's believed to have been sold in a private sale to a well-known collector who specializes in mint-era coins, pushing its price to record levels because there's simply nothing else like it in existence. Unlike other famous era cents like the 1955 double die or the 1943 copper cent, this 1975 D variety combines elements of both, the dramatic doubling of one and the metallic anomaly of the other, making it an ultimate prize. This story also fuels the passion of modern coin hunters who search through rolls, bank boxes, and old collections, hoping to find their own hidden treasure. Because if one such coin could escape the mint's strict quality control and find its way into the world, there might just be another out there waiting to be discovered. The allure of turning a 1-cent coin into a $4 million fortune captures the imagination like few other hobbies can, reminding us that sometimes history hides in the smallest details. Every tiny imperfection on a coin tells a story of its creation, the pressure of the dies, the material of the planchet, the alignment of the machinery, and in the case of this 1975 D cent, those microscopic moments aligned in just the right way to create something legendary. So the next time you hold a penny in your hand, take a closer look, because as this incredible 1975 D1 cent has proven, even the most ordinary coin can turn out to be an extraordinary treasure worth millions, and all it takes is a sharp eye, a little patience, and the curiosity to uncover the mistakes that made it truly priceless.